Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be reviewing and showing you a couple different carbon fiber vinyls. As you can see, I have three different rolls here. One of them is an eBay vinyl, this one right here. It's sold as a gloss 5D carbon fiber vinyl. It is high sheen. It comes with a clear protective cap on it. So you apply it and you would peel off the cap before you stretch around curves and such. You can leave it on while you're applying it on flat surfaces. But you can see it's a shiny kind of vinyl. The next vinyl here in the middle is by Vvivid. This is their Gloss Tech Art series, carbon fiber black. Same thing here. It's got a protective cap on it, as you can see, that you can apply mostly on flat surfaces with the cap on. But for doing any kind of curves and the like, you'll definitely want to peel that cap off. And then lastly here I have Vvivid's True R black carbon fiber vinyl. This one here is not as glossy or shiny as the eBay vinyl or the Tech Art vinyl. This carbon fiber vinyl is a textured one that you can hear my finger scratching over the texture there. Doesn't have a protective cap like the other two do, and it is more of a semi-gloss than it is a high gloss one, but it's not a dry carbon fiber look in and of itself. So with that, let's go over some of the differences. This is fairly cheap. This eBay vinyl, it's fairly cheap. You can find them if you Google or search on eBay's function for 5D gloss carbon fiber vinyl. You can get this stuff. I think I paid for a 1 foot by 5 foot roll, roughly $8 or $9, I think, to include shipping. Vvivid's Gloss Tech Art vinyl actually is more expensive. If I recall correctly, a 1 foot by 5 foot sample roll, which is this, is somewhere around $20, $15 to $20. And then you have Vvivid's True R carbon fiber, which is kind of in between there. I think a 1 foot by 5 foot sample roll runs you somewhere around the range of $12 to $15, if I recall correctly. Alright, so just off the bat here, like the differences that I noticed right away, these carbon fiber vinyls are very thick compared to other regular vinyls. So I peel this up, I can just feel the thickness in the eBay vinyl, as well as the Vvivid's Tech Art vinyl. And then of the three, excuse me, the True R actually does feel the thinnest, but it also does not have a gloss over laminate like the other two do. The other thing that I noticed right away is that I kind of mentioned it before. You can hear my finger scratching, making that sound, and that's because as my nail runs over, this is a textured pattern. You may not be able to see the actual texture in there, but there is a texture to the carbon fiber pattern there, which that angle of the texture as they crisscross creates kind of a shine. It reflects the light back a little bit. With the Gloss Tech Art, you can see it got the cap on there. If I peel it back, it's got a gloss overlay in it, which makes it really shiny. But you can see I'm scratching my fingernail on there. No sound because the texture is underneath a gloss laminate. Same thing for this eBay gloss carbon fiber. You can kind of hear it a little bit, but again, that's just my finger rubbing on the gloss laminate. It doesn't sound as scratchy as the Vvivid's True R carbon fiber vinyl. Alright guys, for this next piece what we'll do is take a look at applying the vinyl itself of the three different kinds. So what we'll do is we'll start off with the eBay generic vinyl. Never mind the lines you can see in there, that's just in the plastic cap. As you can see, I'm going to be using this generic white tile as my application surface. Just picking this because it's simple and easy to use for demonstration here. It's got a nice smooth glossy surface. high surface energy, so the vinyl will stick to it nicely. And then easy to trim. I'm not going to bother wrapping it around or anything. I just want to kind of show you what it looks like laying down on a surface. So with the generic vinyl, you have a generic grid pattern on the back. There's no brand naming on it, unlike, say, for example, Vvivid, which does have their brand naming on the back side there. For other brands such as, it's kind of cut off here, but Oracal, for example, or even something like Avery Dennison or 3M will have branding on the back of their on their backing paper of their vinyl. So with this, peel it off the backing paper. The adhesive is clear, and then you can see, I don't know if you can see that, you can kind of see those patterns in there, the air release pattern. So it does have air release channels in the adhesive. It's quite tacky. So in applying this, initial tack is going to be pretty high. It'll grab fairly well. And so, like I said, you can see the adhesive is clear, so you can see straight to the back and see the patterning through that. Now, what I'll do is I'll just quickly apply it right onto the tile. You can apply on flat, even surfaces with the plastic cap on. So I just did that. Use my squeegee to smooth it out. You can see that it's pressing out those lines that were in the cap as well. If you're coming around a corner, you'll definitely want to peel the plastic cap off. With the plastic cap off, again, this is the eBay 5D gloss black carbon fiber. It's quite shiny, as you can see in the camera there. Very glossy, very smooth. Looks really nice, actually. It does feel very thick compared to other vinyls, particularly, say, something that's very thin like Avery. So when I apply that, let's just take a look at how well it's stretched. If I try to stretch it cold, it is kind of hard to do. So I'm just stretching that over the corner there like that. It is stretchable, but definitely not easy like, say, 3M or Avery or even Vvivid regular color change vinyl. So I just touch it with heat to relax the film and shrink it back to its original state, original form. What I'm going to do just for ease is trim off this excess here, and then it'll just have the surface of the tile wrapped. Trim this off. Again, quick and dirty. I'm not doing anything too elaborate or crazy. You can see it's high tack. It's grabbing to my cutting mat on here. Just move those edges down a little bit. Alright, so that is the 3M, or excuse me, not 3M, generic eBay 5D gloss carbon fiber vinyl. Next up, we'll take a look at the Vvivid XPO series gloss black Tech Art series. You can say actually I already peeled off the plastic cap on this one. So when I peeled this one off, you can see that different, even though the color is black, and you'll notice the different coloring here, the Vvivid one actually has kind of a gray coloring to it compared to the eBay one. I don't know if you can tell the difference of that in the camera, but I can see, kind of looking at it, this gloss carbon fiber Vvivid Tech Art one, the carbon fiber doesn't have that refractive look as much as the eBay one does. The eBay one, when I turn it, I can definitely see, at least from my view and my angle, kind of like a prism effect in the vinyl in the surface. With this one, not so much. I can tell there's a pattern in there, but it's actually much more subdued in my eye here than it is the eBay one. So you can also see that this is more of a gray silver color in the back. You can see the patterning through the adhesive, so the adhesive is clear, but you may also be able to see that this has those air release channels in it. It is tacky, it's sticky, but definitely not as much as this. This is still very sticky compared to other vinyls like your Avery and the like, but Definitely, this one does, to me, does not feel as sticky as this eBay vinyl did. So I'm going to go ahead and apply it. Each of these do have the air release, as I showed you there. These little bits on the surface there are bits of, looks like tile that got under there, like little sand bits. Alright, so here's the two side by side for now. As far as cold stretching it, kind of like the eBay one, it's very stiff, very rigid. Trying to stretch it on the corner there, bring those to the side. So definitely, if you want to maneuver it, you'll probably want to add a touch of heat to kind of soften it up a little bit. Like I said, I was pulling that fairly hard and it wasn't moving very much. Reset that. So it laid down nicely. The air egress works well. I'm going to start trimming off this excess here. Again, not quite as tacky as that eBay one. You can see these pieces here are coming right up, where the eBay one, as they were laying down, so this one was grabbing on really hard right away to my cutting mat. So consider that when you're using it for installation, that it may be a little bit more difficult to work with because it'll grab at anything that it touches, versus some of these other ones which will grab but not as hard, or it'll just glide right over like this. The eBay vinyl, let's see how it's grabbing. It does slide a little bit, but it was grabbing, as you saw there, onto my cutting mat. Get rid of the scraps here. Trim this off just a touch better. That. Alright, and so here, comparison, this one here, eBay, this one here, Vvivid Tech Art. Zoom back. And I think now in this camera angle you can kind of see that the eBay one, the patterning is much more visible than the Vvivid one. The Vvivid one seems to be a little bit more subtle as far as seeing the pattern and the lighting. Alright, so that's the eBay Vvivid Gloss Tech Art. Now let's take a look at one last one here, which is the, here's my piece, the Vvivid True R carbon fiber in black. Again, this is the one that has a, it does not have that gloss sheen to it. It's more of a, it is more of a semi-gloss. Here I cut a sort of big piece just to have the backing. It is also in their Vvivid's XPO line, which is the previous generation. Currently, Vvivid has their Premium Plus, which is their current generation of vinyl. Again, this is not nearly as glossy as the Tech Art or even the eBay one. I would say right now, just looking at this, for sure the eBay one seems to be the glossiest of the three. This one's more of a semi-gloss, has kind of a texture to it. You can hear my finger scratching on it. So let's get to peeling it off and applying it to my tile piece here. So I'm going to peel this guy off here. If I can peel this off here. Try somewhere else. Alright, there we go. Peeling it off. This one definitely feels way thinner than the previous two vinyls. Again, probably because it doesn't have that gloss laminate on top of the carbon fiber texture pattern. Let's see. Adhesive is clear, just like on the other two. Hopefully I can get this close enough. You can see the air release channel patterning in the back of it. So if I apply, it is tacky like the other two, but not super duper tacky. Definitely not like the eBay one. This does have air release, so see that bubble there. Just press that out, work those out. Alright, and so here's that one there. Let's go ahead and cut this off here. one, like the other one, does grab, but does slide off or slide around a little bit easier than the eBay one. Now, my cutting mat isn't as high surface energy as these tiles, so that's also another factor to consider. Alright, so these are the 3 tiles. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit here so you can get a better view of all 3 of them side by side. So, what we've got here is we got the eBay one here, Vvivid Gloss Tech Art carbon fiber, and Vvivid True R carbon fiber. I'll take the camera off tripod here to get a better look, closer look at these 3 here. So again, here is the eBay gloss carbon fiber. You can see the patterning creates almost like a metallic shine, depending on how the light angle is hitting it. Turn it this way. Not so much from this angle. There you go, right there. Okay, that's the eBay one. Here is the gloss Tech Art. Now, never mind these little bumps and spots. Those are actually bits of tile on the corners that broke off, that got underneath as I was working on it. You can see the patterning in there, but definitely not as metallic compared to the eBay one. So there's a good comparison right there. You can see the 2 different ones. Alright. More subtle, but high gloss as well. And then let's move over to the True R carbon fiber one. So this one here is basically looks like to me, looks a lot more like the way the textured pattern is reflecting the light, kind of like this, but without the high gloss sheen that the eBay one has. So if I come back to here, taking a look at that patterning, and then this True R carbon fiber is what I had put on the hood of my STI. Had it on for 2 years, looked really well, kept well, and then peeled off very nicely with little to no residue. Alright guys, so just hopefully just an overview of 3 different types of carbon fiber vinyl. eBay, Vvivid, and Vvivid, but within Vvivid you got 2 different series within a series. Both of these 2 here are XPO line, but this is their Tech Art line, this is their True R line. And so the Tech Art is your gloss one. You can actually see some scratches in the gloss just from my buffer. That'll heat out with a little bit of sunlight when you leave it out in the sun, or you can take a heat gun or a torch to gloss that back out and heal it. The True R, as you can see, does not have a gloss laminate on it. It does have a textured feel to it when you do touch it, but it's not a dry carbon fiber per se. It does have some amount of sheen. Well, hopefully this video was informative for you. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Thanks, guys.